Welcome back, everybody. It's Alex, and this is That's My Podcast, DMP. You already know. Today I have JJ Norris here. He's like my partner in crime, everything. And today we're gonna be talking about regrets and not necessarily regrets, I guess.
That's a good one.
Yeah, like regrets, mistakes, what we've learned, how like failures can turn into successes.
Yeah.
Things like that.
But, hi, everybody.
Yeah, I was like, do you want to say something? I just threw you in here.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
That's our podcast. I didn't really have like a like intro or like beginning, so I'm just gonna get into the questions for now and then.
Okay.
And if you have anything else that you want to add to, like, just let me know.
I'm already thinking like it's hard to stay serious with you like right now.
Yeah.
We like used to playing around a lot, so but I'm ready.
That's okay. This podcast is more supposed to be like lighthearted and fun, and like whatever comes out. It's not really supposed to be like this structured thing where everything has to be neat, because that's not me.
No, just kidding.
Shut up. So my first question for you is, what do you feel like was like your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
I gotta think on it. I feel like for me it was okay. I'm gonna speak on two. I think right now it's like something I'm still battling. So I think the first one was school, obviously. After coming back from military and stuff like that, like trying to like finish out, I struggled so bad. But I think that's like a good thing, like not a good thing, but it's like redirection. And it's like something like I think about a lot about like finishing, because I was so close to finishing school. But
so you feel like your regret was not finishing, or just school in general?
Like not finishing. Well, a little bit of both, but at the same time, like I'm glad I went to school. But more so not finishing, but at the same time, the only reason why I wanted to finish it was because I was just super close to finishing. That's my regret. But the other thing was just like kind of just like letting myself go and like gaining a lot of weight. It's a lot harder to lose the weight now, and since I'm like a little heavier. But those are, I think, two biggest regrets. But like the school one, not as much compared to like the weight loss and like the weight gain and stuff like that. Yeah.
You feel like it's hurt like your mental a lot?
Yeah, like there's days where I'm like way better with it, like my confidence and stuff. But the weight gain definitely like has like affected it, where like I'm not confident in what I wear, or just confident in general. But at the same time, like I'm like doing little things to help that, like just getting a haircut and stuff like that, or I'm going to the gym now, and you know that. But that one's like it affected me when I was at 230, and like that was like not that bad. But
I don't even think I've ever known you when you were less than 230.
Yeah, no, I don't think you did. No, but yeah, those are the biggest two. What about you?
Well, first, know that you're still.
I can't ask questions to you.
No, yeah. Okay. I literally like thought about this, because I was like, if he asked me what,
so I'm gonna ask.
If you ask him back, I was like, I have no idea what I was gonna say. So literally last night, whenever I was writing, that's what I was writing, was like answers to these questions.
Oh, you got the practice.
Yeah.
You're a little cheater.
Well, I was like, if you really take a long time to think about it, then I was like, we can just edit that.
Oh,
so like you can spend time thinking about it.
I'm ready.
Sure. Just okay. But first of all, you're still very like attractive, even like with like any type of weight gain. Like with school, I understand that, because like I think I literally like everybody like made fun of me whenever I dropped out, because like except like my friend like Jade and like her family, because like they didn't necessarily make fun of me, but they're like, that was kind of ridiculous, because I think I only had like to do like a month or two left. Maybe 3, but like when it comes to like a year, that's not that long, you know? So, because I think I only went for like, I did the summer, so it was accelerated, and I was supposed to have like the next semester after that, but I didn't finish it out. But then it was like afterwards, I was supposed to get like I had to go through a test to get
Mm-hmm.
my actual, like, it was just a certificate. It wasn't even a degree. So it's just like, if I'm not going to do the test, then why would I spend 3 more months of my life doing something that I don't even care about?
Yeah. To add on to like that topic, reason why I say I regret it was because like kind of you showed me like there was something else I can do, and I felt like I had expectations of it just like getting my bachelor's from like family, and then just like I don't know, I think I had that on myself too, but like first it was like you and TJ, like they I mean you guys really supported me on like whatever decision I made, and like that was really cool. That was the first time like I've like openly discussed about like dropping out, and then for like it was like what 2-3 years
I felt like you kept it in for so long, but you always brought up that you weren't going to classes.
Yeah, like I was barely even there, and then even when I was there, I was like my heart and my mind wasn't in it. So like even before I dropped out, I dropped out, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, like it wasn't until you showed me that you can do it a different way. You can do, and like I wish I would have known that, or like opened my eyes and my perspective. But it's like at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm past that, and like I'm like in a different direction. I'm doing other things like now.
Yeah.
So,
and it's still like if you were 40 years old, there's no one like those. Like things don't ever go away, so it's like you can still literally just like hop back in it and finish it super quickly. So it's just like, to me, it's like if you have another passion, just like run with that while you can, because you can literally go back to college at any point in your life if you have other passions and you're able to still support yourself. Like, why would you like waste your time, waste your old times if you have to waste any time?
Facts.
You know,
I like that.
But I was gonna say like, my biggest regret, I don't feel like is like something like all in one. I think it's like just in general not staying true to myself through like different experiences, but like just to like limit it, like make it to where it's not as vague. I kind of like thought about like specifically when I was like 18, because like I felt like after I went on that trip to like Thailand, Cambodia, Japan, and Korea, like I felt like so in tune with myself. Like I felt like I knew myself so well, and I felt like so clear. Like it was the first time I wasn't like boy crazy. The first time that like I literally didn't need anybody. Like I literally just like spent like, I mean, not that my friends were like terrible on that trip. Like I wouldn't have been able to go on them without them, but it's just like there were more times where I was alone than with them once it got towards the end of the trip because of all the drama going on. So it's like I literally walked around a different country with barely any money. Like I was literally calling my parents and just asking for like $10 so I could get on the subway. I literally was in another country, no money, and I was still able to like create those times and memories for myself. And I think that was like a really cool experience for me to do that. I was like, I don't know, it was just the first time where I was like kind of forced to be alone in that aspect, and it actually went smoothly. And then like when I got back home, I just like let life, like my normal life, influence me so much again. And then that's whenever I got into like that relationship, and like I'm not gonna lie, like I have no, like it taught me so much, so I don't have that necessarily as a regret, but I just know that like if I felt like if I would have stayed in that headspace, not anything against him, but I don't think that I would have like actually accepted having a relationship at that point, like if I would have stayed true to myself. Because at that point, like I was so like strong in my religion. Like, okay, I guess I wasn't super strong if I went against it, but like, you know what I mean? Like it was still such an important thing in my life. And I think I just like let myself get caught up in like those like immediate like feelings than like actually thinking about the whole picture, which is like normally how I am in life. Like not that I don't want to have fun or be spontaneous, because I do that all the time. But like just when it comes to my decisions, when they're more serious, I definitely look at them more as like, what's the big picture versus like the immediate satisfaction. And I think that's like in our conversation the other night, like why, like one reason why I have like the moral compass that I do is just because I'm not thinking about immediate.
And we've talked about that, and like I feel like you definitely retain like your sense of self, like now, even like when you with I guess not the best influences around you, you've handled so many situations really well.
Thank you. I don't know if I feel the same, but like I am like proud of how I got to now from then.
That's such a good one. Like you just talked about, like I didn't think about that, but there's we talked about, and I mentioned where there's situations where I'm in like past relationships where I lose myself, and that's such a big one. And like having your identity is such an important thing, and I don't know, but
no, I agree. Like for sure, I think that's like I mean, people always say like you're only gonna have yourself in the end. Like, you know, I mean, and even if you have somebody there when you die, like it is true. You're the only person that's like truly in your head. You're the only one that can like really like. Other people can really like soothe you, but they're soothing you like temporarily. Like you have to do that for yourself. So, I definitely do think that like doing your best to stay true to yourself. But I think that also means that you have to put yourself in an environment where you're able to stay true to yourself. And like, I don't think that's what I did. Like, especially going back to McDonald's, like, which y'all don't judge me, but like, yeah, like I feel like I had the opportunity to not go back, and I went back even though I knew that I struggled with like different relationships within the company, and like that I knew that there were so many temptations, which it sounds stupid, but you know, like when I'm 17, 18, you know, I'm young and being religious, like there's a lot of things there that I was seeing that like I was taught to stay away from. But to me, it intrigued me. So like I wanted to keep on going, but like I definitely think that if I would have gotten out of that company sooner, I think I would have dealt with a lot less like trauma now. But I was like, what I wrote down last night whenever I was like thinking about this stuff is like literally that, like honestly, that like biggest regret turned into like the biggest success, because like I would not be here right now without going through that. Like if I wouldn't have gotten this fellowship, like, and I wouldn't have had like all the relationships I had, it wouldn't have gotten me to like meeting you, it wouldn't have gotten me to being in Cali. Like I don't even know where I would be, like for real. So yeah, unless you have something more to talk on that one, I have another question.
Really?
Which I kind of just flowed into that.
That's perfect. See?
Yeah, I tried writing them in order, like the questions, because I was like, okay, which ones kind of like go together. So the next one was like, how has your life been different than what you would have imagined, or like what you imagined like when you were younger?
Ooh. So man, that's such a good question. That's deep.
You know me.
I think, I guess, I don't know, like, there's so many things I wanted to do when I was younger that like you change your mind from. I'm trying to think back, like what 18-year-old me was like wanting. I was trying to become like a personal trainer during that time, and like I didn't really
like when you were in high school.
Yeah, when I was in high school, and in like my first years of like college, like when I went to USI, I was like going to like become like a personal trainer and stuff, and so I didn't really think much more about like any like variety of things. I didn't work on anything creative, so then versus like how it's shaping,
which is so wild, because that's like literally like your biggest passion. So it's weird that you didn't find that passion until so late into your life.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's weird like to think about that. Actually, like that's such a good question. But, I think back then, like definitely like I was trying to go toward personal training, and eventually I found like creative like outlets and stuff that I enjoy way more. So I don't know, like I really don't, like now I think way more about the future than I did then.
Yeah. So you never really like, not necessarily thinking about like, oh, like I have this 10-year plan, but like you never thought like far ahead, like into your adult life.
I never really had like a 5-year plan, but like I've had like, okay, I'm envisioning myself at like 25, 26.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily a plan of how you're going to get there, but just like how you thought you were going to be.
In my head, I'm like, okay, when I'm 26, I'm going to have all this and this and that. And 25, So like, now it's like, okay, I'm not there yet still. But I still like, I still have like, okay, I still have that vision. Like, okay, I'm going to be like this at this age, or like, not like the age, but at a certain point, I'm like, this is kind of how I want to feel. This is how I want to be. But now I actually have like a 5-year plan, or like, I guess a step, like, actual, like a step by step, like how to get there, like, as we talk about business now, back then, like I never like was like, okay, I thought about stocks and stuff, but like not like, all right, you can actually have a business and do this stuff. But yeah,
I stopped thinking about stocks after my like assignment in 4th grade. We had to like got put into like a group, like our desk group, and we were like, okay, you have to pick out of these businesses. We had like a whole list, and we had to put like certain money, and like every day, like it was real companies and stuff like that. And so like I don't know how he calculated it necessarily. I'm sure he just used whatever math it goes into it each day without actually putting the money in it. And he just kind of like calculated it into like what each group would have had based off of like, and we all started with the same amount of money. Yeah. And so then it was like, oh, whoever won, I think we got a prize or whatever. But I literally like, I was like, that's too risky for me every time. My money has always gone into savings, but now it's going to be different. But yeah, I didn't really like write anything on like how I thought life would have been like, but I did think about like how my life would have been like all the time. Like whenever I was younger, like I always like had a plan. I guess I did kind of talk to you about it like maybe like a week ago, how I thought like I was going to be like, you know, I was going to be this Jehovah's Witness, like the perfect one. And I was going to like go do like, be a missionary. I was going to like go travel. And like, I used to always tell myself that I was never, okay. So like I went into like a phase where I was like super boy crazy. I did like my wedding Pinterest board, all that stuff. And like, and then like eventually like I just kind of gave up on it. And I used to like say like, I'm just going to be single forever. So I always thought like, I had like, I don't know. I thought that was funny that like I went through like a period of life where I was like, I don't want kids. I don't want a husband. I don't want anything. Like, I'm just going to be me. Like, I went through years.
Where, like, you know, okay.
I know, whatever. So, I don't need to hear it again. We have these conversations all the time.
But, yeah.
But, yeah, like, but when I went through that, I was like 14. Okay. Like, I was like.
Mine was such the opposite. I was like, white picket fence, house, marriage, kids, the whole shebang, and just chilling. Yeah. I don't know. But
I think I can understand it. Mine came from, like, heartbreak. So like my heartbreak was young. Yeah. Okay. Like I was like always thinking like, I mean, I never saw good relationships around me. So I was always like, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And then like when I actually was starting to like dabble in that myself and like try to talk to guys and stuff like that, it was just like, it wasn't working. I was always bullied. Like no one ever really thought that I was like anything. So like to me, until a certain point, but like to me, it was like, by the time it got to that point, I was like over it. Like I was just like, y'all are trash. Yeah. But not like I don't actually like put all guys in that. But like to me, that was like my experience. So I was like, you know what, life will just be smoother if I'm single. Like I don't, and especially like being religious, like there's still so much power that the men have compared to the women. That I was like, it would be cool if I was able to like, you know, be something before I was with anybody.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I was gonna ask you a question. If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind.
I was gonna say like, so like when you got hurt and stuff like that, how long did it take you to like learn to be like allow yourself to love, like, you know, because like I feel like sometimes like once you go through heartbreak, you like you view the world like a little bit differently. Like you're like more skeptical and like not as trusting, or you don't allow yourself to open up to like every experience. Yeah. So like I was gonna like, ask. That's like, the
thing is like I don't think that I ever really closed myself off. Like. And I don't think it was because my heartbreak wasn't bad. I just don't think that's how I am as a person. Yeah. Like, to me, I was never, like, looked at, like, failures and, like, people treating me bad as, like, that's always how it will be. So, like, to me, it was, like, that was my experience with this person, but I never put that on anybody else, like, when I was younger. I think I struggle with that more now after my relationships, like, the past few years. Yeah. But when I was young, like, I still definitely, like, had that, like, hope of, like, people are really good. Yeah. So, like, to me, it was, like, dealing with that, like, really bad experience at that age. It wasn't, like, you know, you have, like, that little, like, hater phase, but to me, it wasn't towards everybody. It was towards the specific person that hurt me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't think I ever closed myself off to, like, being able to like love again, but I definitely didn't focus on it because like before, like I was really focused on like finding someone, and then I just like lost that interest. Like I was just like, whatever comes to me, and I think that's like, and that's why I always say to people like, if you want a relationship, just like try not to search for it, because as soon as I had that mindset, literally people were like all over me trying to text me and stuff like that, like snap me and all that back in the day.
It's not the attention you want, like.
Yeah, well, at that point, I was just a little bit like over it. It wasn't that I didn't allow myself to connect with them, but I just didn't like care to like. To me, it wasn't as flattering as I thought it was before. Like when people would like message me and be like, "Oh, you fine," like something like that. You know, like to me that was just like, I'm just like, okay, like
that's cool now, but yeah,
it didn't matter to me anymore. But it wasn't like I was like closed off. Like if somebody was like kind to me, like if I met them in person and we actually like clicked, like I think that's how I've always been. It's just like, you know, I always start like with who I meet. Like I always start with like a base, like respect, a base trust, a base like, and then the more I see them, the more that we talk, like the more that we hang out, like that's whenever those gauges move.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, this is a good one.
Uh-oh.
What do you wish you knew 10 years ago? So you would have been 16.
Dang. It's like something I'm literally going through right now. No one gives a fuck. Like, I mean, like, no one gives a fuck about like what you do really, or and like you should have like that mindset of like not caring what people think. I feel like right now, and like I tend to think everyone cares about what I'm doing, or like the perception of I care too much about the perception of like how people think I'm doing. I don't know how to say that, but like just caring too much about like the way people think, or
it has like it affects you a lot.
Yeah, and so having that instilled that like when I would be 16, that'd be like great. I don't know. I think that'll be a good one.
Yeah. Even back then, you felt like that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because I know that's more of like now,
I don't know.
The past few years. So I didn't know if you felt like that when you were younger.
I don't know if I was doing that when I was 16. Maybe I didn't think like that when I was 16, but
it's still something like maybe it's
like
not
helpful.
necessarily. Yeah, it's not necessarily that you weren't like you just weren't bothered by it, but it wasn't necessarily that that you thought in your head like, oh, it doesn't matter what they think. It was just that at that point you were really thinking about it.
Yeah, and like I would probably like try like what I wish I would know is like that I'm like I can attain things more than like I think I can, you know, like like just because like I'm a certain way or a mixed kid from like a really rural town or whatever, that like nothing's like limited to just like something else, you know.
You don't have to be anywhere to be able to get where you want to be.
Exactly. Definitely that would be the one. What about you?
I think like I wrote down
you're cheating.
I know, but I thought about something mentally just now whenever you were like speaking, but I wrote down like to love myself.
Oof.
Because like I don't think like I was literally thinking about it. It was kind of like honestly like a breakthrough last night that I was even thinking about it. Like I was just like, I genuinely don't think that I thought about like really self-care like until so far into my life.
Yep.
So like if I would have been like, okay, 12's a little young, like, you know, but like, you know.
There's kids like that.
Yeah, so literally, like, guarantee Yayo was like that. Guarantee. I know, I was like, what? Like, you already know, she was reading.
I was like, literally just thinking about that too.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, she's talking about all her love language. I was like
she didn't know how to thesaurus and everything. Like,
I went to therapy. I was like, wait, what?
You're like, man, no, like,
beating me.
Maybe 12's like a little bit young to like try to like think about that in like a deeper sense. But I mean, I don't think it's like too young to just be like, you know, like appreciate who you are. But like, I think to know like that you need to work on yourself, to know that like you have things and that you have to you have to kind of like discover and like go into yourself and like, you know, figure out why you are the way you are and like what things you don't necessarily like, but also to learn to like truly like have that love for yourself. Cause I don't really feel like I ever thought about like, I was always taught to love others, and you know, like you're always taught, you know, treat others how you want to be treated. But honestly, I didn't think about that deeper than I just hit my mic. But like honestly, I didn't think about that like deeper with my freaking claws than like showing other people love. I didn't think like, oh, you know, because I love myself and because I do this for myself, then I should give that to other people. I was just like, I mean, yeah, I don't want somebody to disrespect me, so I'm not going to disrespect somebody else.
Yeah.
But like, I never thought deeper, like, on that, like, than to, like, to think about, like, oh, I should do this for myself. And, like, mentally, I should pay attention to what's bothering me and not bothering me. Things like that.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. But, like, I think, I thought about something whenever you were talking, but now I can't remember what the other one was of, like, what I wish I would have known. Oh, I mean, something that you taught me, like, a little bit of, like, what you said at first was just, like, to realize that not anything is, like, you can attain anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing is, like, I wish I would have thought about that before, too, because I feel like I really put myself in a box. And, like, you were really the one that taught me that, like, anything is possible. Like, nothing is impossible. Even, like, you know, like, whenever I would watch America's Next Top Model, for real, like, that's always my go-to to talk about. It's just, like, when I would watch America's Next Top Model and see, like, I would walk in my heels across the kitchen and, like, you know, and, like, whenever I would watch America's Got Talent, you know, like, I wanted to be, like, that professional hula hooper, like, different stuff like that. It was, like, you know, there's literally people on Instagram, I guarantee you, if I typed in, like, hula hooper, there's some random girl that literally has thousands of followers because she, like, hula hoops and, like, roller skates or something. Literally. You know, like, so, like, if that's really what I wanted to do, I could have done that. Yeah. You know, and I think I never thought about that. Like, I never thought what I truly wanted to do was ever an option. Yes. So, yeah, I definitely think that's, like, something that I wish I would have known, like, 10 years ago. But now I'm getting into that, so, you know, it's never too late. But
that's a good one. Yeah. I was thinking, like, also, too, like that, like, things come in phases, or, like, things come and go. Like, you know, what you did at 15 is, like, not the same thing you're going to do at 20, and, like, be okay with, like, not being that same person sometimes. Like, so, like, I was thinking about, like, the things I used to like doing, and, like, there was a big period of time where I hated working out after, like, I lifted so, like, worked out for so much, and, like, I was having, like, trouble, like, being okay with that, like, you know, so I think
that you changed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, having, like, accepting that I was changing, and, like, that I wanted to explore different things, like photography and stuff like that. So, like, I think that's another good one. Like,
yeah, that is good. That you don't always have to be
the same person throughout your life.
I honestly feel like that's something really recently that you, like, realized in yourself.
Yeah, it was, like, literally 2 years ago.
Yeah, I literally remember, like, well, maybe I don't remember, but, like, I literally felt like you talked about, like, how you tried hanging on to so many different parts of yourself, and, like, kind of bringing that back up whenever it was like, no, you just grow. Like, you don't. It's not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can come back to it, but it's like you don't have to force yourself to do something you're not feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think. Oh, this is take a turn, you know, happiness. I mean, not that we've, like, gone into dark times, but we're like, you know, so what's the time that you made your biggest mistake? The next one is, what are you most proud of? Like, what's your proudest, like, moment or decision? Like,
man, proud to keep going. Not gonna lie, like, that's,
that's honestly.
I'm proud. I'm still here. No, I'm not trying to go on a dark topic, but yeah, that was a thing too. Like, you know, like suicide, but
safety.
Wow, disrespect. She's farting on the podcast. But getting through, like, really rough times, and, like, just, like, literally persistence, and, like, just keep on going even when, like, it doesn't seem like the odds are in your favor. But
yeah,
things I'm, like, most proud of.
That's a good one, honestly. By the way,
yeah,
like,
I think just, like, seeing what I'm capable of, like, with, I think a really good one was just, like, I didn't think about this a lot, but, like, when in high school, like, when I would just, like, work out a lot and, like, do all this stuff, like, I was doing, like, shit, like, kids weren't really doing. I didn't see, like, the kids in my town weren't doing anyways. So, like, I would just do weird shit, and for me, it was, like, really cool. Like, it really helped build up my, like, mindset. And like, going through with the military and, like, getting through that type of training, it was very different from something, like, I like experienced, and, like, I just, like, I really got comfortable with being in my own mind, because, like, you know, you're getting yelled at, whatever, yada yada. It's, like, really, really a stressful environment. So it was, like, cool to kind of go through, like, boot camp and, like, A school, and then, like, field med training, and, like, I don't know, it was, like, it was intense.
Yeah, you're a masochist.
But it was cool because, like, I was, like, able to see what I was capable of, like in like the things
Yeah.
that people would complain about during those like times, I would just like internalize it and just like keep it fucking going.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I think another one, and like
strong-willed.
Yeah, strong, literally just willpower, and like that's what I'm trying to like get back, you know. And like I think the first time like I really experienced that was like during my first cut. Like losing like I think I lost like 20 pounds or something like that, 30 pounds. I think it was 30 pounds. Yeah, it was like from 200 to 170.
You're literally like this little skinny mini.
Yeah, and like so like it took like what? It was like 3 months, but it was just like I was like really focused on like consistently doing a behavior like and like going to the gym.
You showed me like your fitness pal.
Yeah, and like it was like I tracked everything, but like it was just like okay, you weren't seeing the results like each day, but then like at the end of it, I was like, oh shit,
yeah,
it worked. So like that's literally what I'm trying to get back to now is having that determination, that willpower of like your mindset of like just keep on going on doing like these like tasks or habits, and like it's gonna pay off.
Create the routine.
Yeah,
and you can also like find ways to make it like harder for yourself. Like maybe like I'm not gonna like scream at you if you don't wake up in the morning, but like you could like set like, oh, if I don't do this, then I have to do this.
He'd be like, it's just 5 more minutes. Come on. Yeah. You're not.
Whatever. But you're kind of like my alarm clock. But like, even and like today, I did get up and do like my meetings and stuff like that. Like, and then I did get back in bed, but I was literally so exhausted.
Yeah.
But no, I understand. But I have never been good at like, okay, I have been good when I was in school. I was really good, and like, honestly, even like when I was homeschooled, honestly, I didn't start getting bad until like till I got like majorly depressed at one point in my life, and then ever since then, I've like never, like honestly, when I was 18, since I've been 18, I like haven't been able to just hear an alarm and just wake up to it like first thing. Like I don't know what happened, but I think that's good, like figuring out like what you can do, what you're capable of, because then you have more confidence too. I think mine was like, it's funny that you said like the beginning with like when you're younger doing something different than like what you saw other people doing, and like that was like a proud thing, because like that's kind of like goes into mine where I was saying like one of them is definitely doing like the coding boot camp, I think.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah, like I know it seems like, I think it kind of seems small, like thinking about just doing like a coding boot camp, but yeah, like that was like a really difficult time, like, and I really did push myself to do that, and like I also just jumped into it, which was like honestly like the first time in a long time that I had just like been like, what the heck, like this is gonna make a change, so I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, like I wasn't thinking about anybody else when I made that decision other than myself, and that's not something that I make a habit a lot, and so I think that like I was really proud that I really did just like not think about whatever the consequences were. I literally was just like, I'm gonna do this.
It's literally like doing the most like unsexy thing, you know, like doing something that's like you're grinding. You're literally just doing shit like that's like, oh man, this is tiring and this is like boring or whatever. But like you're doing it, and like the light, the tunnel is like you achieved it, and so that's really cool. I was thinking about that the other day, like just achievements and shit. Yeah. And like how like good that feeling is once you like really work hard to get something, and like it just like I don't know, it's just like that's something like I want to do like some marathons and stuff like that, like especially before I'm like fucking like 40 or something like that, you know. Yeah.
Although they be like number 40
one. Yeah, I know they be.
No, legit. They got the strong calves.
They got the what's the Hokas or. Hoka, the shoes,
Hoka,
I don't know
whatever brand that is, but I know what you're talking about. They got the super like thick memory foam. Yeah, and they're always colorful. Yeah. I don't know, like I've never seen a pair of them where they're like plain.
So you can see them at night, maybe that's probably why.
I don't even remember what. Oh yeah, the coding boot camp and stuff like that. I was also gonna say traveling.
Yeah, you traveled to some crazy places already. That's not crazy, but like. When you traveled there, it was like really cool.
Yeah, because I like grinded at work. Like what people like don't think about, like whenever I say like I've been those places, or like even whenever I say like part of it was like mission trips and stuff like that, it was like, okay, I did get like help, like some, or like, you know, certain people like Jade's grandparents helped me whenever I was in Dominica. Like they paid for me like while I was there. unless I got like souvenirs and stuff like that. But like my paying my way and all that, like I paid myself, and I was like literally like 15 or 16.
Yeah, that's
I think
super impressive.
Yeah, like I think I'm very proud of my work ethic.
I don't know when I got my first job. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was 14 when I got my first job, and I remember like it wasn't even my parents telling me that I needed to do it or anything like that. I was literally just like, Mom and Dad, like I'm gonna start working, and like I reached out to the person, like the guy at the company and everything, like myself, which was like, you know, I don't know. I mean, it was just McDonald's, you
That's
know,
so
but
cool,
like,
though.
Yeah, like I think I was just very fearless, like, and if I wanted something, I was gonna get it when I was young. But the thing was, is that I let so many, like, I had that quality, but then I let so many people just like, you know, like smack it out. But
I feel like you have that quality back. I know you're like definitely a hard worker still. It's like, are you still like strong-willed, where you're like really determined? Like, I forget what the word you use, but like kind of just taking on everything.
Yeah, I definitely think I still have it in me, but I just think that like what's harder now is that I don't necessarily have that like push. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like when I was working at Target and stuff like that, like every day was such a struggle. But like I literally like
traumatizing people.
No, literally. And like, you know, like having that many people like be in charge of the front, having that many people come up to you every single day. And like because I got relationships with everybody else on the team too, like it was like it didn't matter if they were like a part of my team or not. Like everybody was pretty much like my team, and like a lot of people came to me for things like that. And I was like, there wasn't really a time when I was working there while I was in like a super good headspace. Like when I first started working there, I literally had like a broken engagement that was like a week fresh. Yeah. And then like throughout like the whole time I was there, I was just dealing with crap, like with family and stuff like that. So I think like, I don't know, that was just like a lot. Like I put aside like my personal life as much as I could to help everybody else. And I think that was like a really big push, was like seeing all those people like need something from me. And like, I don't know, it was a structure, and I needed to be good to keep my job. But like now I need to be good to keep my job now, but it doesn't push me in the same way.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
So I think I just have to I think I definitely still have it, but I do let people like affect me a lot more than I did when I was younger. Like, I know I say that like I kind of lost myself as like a person like when I was young, but like I think I let like what they had to say affect me, but like I don't know if like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I completely understand what you're saying. Like,
yeah, like now I let people's feelings decide sometimes what I do, like how I do it, but beforehand it was more of like
their words and like what they said was like true or something.
It affected me emotionally. Now I let it affect me like in actual decisions, I guess.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like even with like doing stuff on my own, like now, like I want you to like join me and stuff like that. So like if you don't do it, then like I might not do it, which like I'm trying to get out of course, but like I just want to.
I'm just fun.
Yeah, like I just want to enjoy it. Like it's not that I know that it comes across as like I need somebody to do it, but it's not that I need somebody to do it. It's just like, okay, did I really need to go to Sally Beauty tonight? I didn't need to, but like the fact that you wanted to come, like that you did that for me, I was like, yeah, let's go, you know? But like if you would have said like, oh no, then I might not have gone.
I know you wouldn't have. You would not have gone today.
But it's not like, I guess like I stopped, like if I didn't feel, if there wasn't needed, I stopped doing those things for myself.
Oh,
I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know how we got on this topic, but like I feel like that's.
It happens. But no, yeah, that's a good point though, for real. Like when you talk about like self-love too, that's a big thing of it. Like taking yourself on dates and stuff like that. So if like sometimes you forget you have to do that alone. But I don't know.
Honestly, the days that like you get on the computer and I like binge watch a show by myself,
just
like
your self-love.
Yeah, I'm not even joking you, like because like a lot of times I'll think like, you know, like if you want to hop on the game, I'm like, go ahead and do it. Like even if I'm in the middle of something, like, and it's not because like it's not that you take over or anything like that, like, but it's just like I constantly am thinking about like how something might affect somebody. So the fact like whenever I get the chance to like just do that, like I'm just choosing a show that I want to watch, and like I'm just enjoying it. Like, and a lot of times it's reality TV, so it's something that you don't even.
I get sucked in. I get sucked in. All right, what happens?
That ultimatum, that was wild.
That was important.
Marry or move on, you know. If y'all haven't seen that show, be
Poor
prepared
Zay.
to be angry. Yeah.
He had it
bad. Snakes
Snakes
and hoes, man.
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
I don't give a man an ultimatum. Then go somewhere else. What?
I know. How are we gonna be in the other person on the other side of that? I don't want to say names to completely spoil it, but it's just like, how are we gonna say, yeah, me and them are not gonna go right off together? Then hands the person 2 tickets
to go right off to wherever.
Like, what a liar and a cheat and a fraud. I don't even. But getting off topic, that got me heated. Just joking. This was like a really good question, which like, because I have 8 questions, but it's this one's a good one. I was curious, like when I was thinking last night, like how you were gonna answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you'll ever get to a point where like everything's perfect in your life to you?
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Go ahead, keep on. I want you to finish that.
I was just gonna say like, and I don't necessarily mean where you're never gonna want to do something afterwards, like to improve it. But, like, do you feel like there's like gonna be a point in your life where like, you know, because you talk about how you don't want to settle down to like when you're like 35. So it's like, is that gonna be like your perfect life? Like whenever you've like done certain things, like, and you have like start having a family or something like that, or is it gonna be like, you know, do you feel like you'll ever be satisfied?
Like with like just that aspect of life, or like every part?
Your whole life.
No, I think there's gonna be a point where like I'm content with like everything I've done. But like I just like I kind of like I want to look at my life from like all aspects. There's been points in time where like in the past where I've like been content of like not doing anything new and just kind of just enjoying where I was at, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, like I feel like not obviously my bad, but I feel like there's gonna be a point where I'm probably gonna be like I don't want to just get all like have like an endless amount of money. I want to like, you know, get to a point where I'm comfortable and happy, and like also like work on like my physical appearance to where I'm comfortable. I don't think there's like, you can always keep on working, but I don't think there's a perfect point. But I think for me, I'll get to a point where I'm content, and then like, okay, like I feel comfortable with this amount of money in my bank account. I feel comfortable with my appearance now. I feel confident. I'm good. Okay, like make sure my family's good or whatever. You know, like just checking off like boxes like of like
things that you always want.
Am I like happy at this point? Okay, cool. But I don't. It doesn't have to be like perfect. I don't think there's like a perfect balance. But yeah, so there's gonna be a time where I get there, but I don't know how long it's gonna take, or because I feel like you're gonna sacrifice some things, you know. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of like where we differ, I think, in like thinking. I understand where you're coming from, but I just think like because you changed, like right now, like you think like having a family would be like a sacrifice, but that's like, well, I'm not trying to say like, I'm not trying to say like that's what you're meaning in saying that you have to sacrifice something, but it's like you kind of feel like, you know, if you like really settle down right now and stuff like that, like you would end up sacrificing a lot of other things that you want to do. Yeah, so like definitely. To me, like I don't necessarily think that in life you're always gonna like, I don't think that you're always gonna feel like what you're doing is a sacrifice, because I think that like just like how, you know, you wanted to be a personal trainer, like you stopped doing that, but it wasn't a sacrifice. You stopped wanting to do it. So like I think like throughout life, I think like we grow, and then like as long as we're accepting who we are and like we're making like positive choices and like staying on a good path, I feel like the things that we end up getting aren't going to be like sacrifices or like, that's true. You know, like I feel like it's going to be exactly where we want to be, because as long as you're in the right headspace of choosing what you want.
That's true. What I was thinking about was like, okay, I'll be like, once I have a family like of my own, and then like I feel like I'm not going to be able to like see like friends as much, maybe. But maybe like not, I don't know. Like that might not be an actual thing. And I'm just like thinking it's gonna be like that. I
mean, if you're married to me, you can go hang out with your friends whenever you want. You already know.
You're like, yeah, am I coming too? I know you.
I'll be like, FaceTime me at some point.
Like, I was gonna go see Brian.
Yeah, we've already had that. But like, yeah, no, I I think like, I mean, personally, like if that really was the case, like I wouldn't, like, I don't feel like you ever need to sacrifice hanging out with your friends, because I feel like, you know, when you're married to that person, I feel like, you know, like even like now, like we do hang out all the time, and like I get sad like whenever, like anytime. Whenever you do want to do something sometimes without me, but at the same time, like it's if like,
I'm gone for 5 minutes.
Yeah, but like if we were married, to me it would be different, because like to me it's not. I
don't
like,
understand that.
No, because to me in my head it's not like borrowed time. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, I got him whenever I want. So like if he wants to go have a boys' night, he can go have a boys' night, because I know that tomorrow he's gonna be with me again.
Okay, I get that.
Unless I truly don't like them, then I'm like, but that's a whole nother scenario.
Okay, what about you though? On like, is there gonna be ever like a perfect time for like, just like everything's like just like okay, good?
I think for sure, because I'm very easily content.
Why are you lying right now?
No,
you changed your hair twice.
Okay, just because I like change doesn't mean that things can be perfect.
Okay,
like,
that's true.
Okay, like I love changing up like my look and stuff like that, but like I can, in a perfect world, you know, if I can do that whenever I want. Yeah. Like honestly, like
that's true.
You know, like that doesn't affect if something's perfect or not. It's just a want and another want. It's like, to me, for sure, I think like I will definitely eventually get to a point where like it's not like I'll stop doing everything, but I definitely think I'm going to get to a point like I'm going to enjoy the journey and enjoy every part of my life. Like that's what I'm really striving to do right now. But I'm excited to get to that point where I'm just like, you know, like whatever.
That's the first way to describe it though.
Yeah, but like, and I know that like, honestly, my perfect vision is not like, it's not stressful. Because like, you know, like I want kids. I do like I want a family. And like, I still want to, even when I have a family and stuff like that, I still want to do like my own type of thing too. Like, I don't ever want to only, like, I will put most of my focus on my family, but I still want to have like my little side things, you know. I always love a hustle. So like, I don't know, like, it's not that everything's going to be like all like butterflies and roses and stuff like that. Like, and that's not what I'm expecting, but I definitely do think that I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so content with this.
Yeah.
I for sure think that.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, I just feel like there's like, I don't think it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be content. I just think, I don't think there's a real thing of perfect.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Perfect. When I say perfect, I think like, I guess I think of it in quotations. Like, okay, nothing in this world is really ever perfect. But like, you know, the closest version. Okay. You know, your version of perfect. Yeah. Because that's why I said like my version of perfect. Like, to me, like that's a perfect life, but it's not like everything's perfect. You know, my kids, I'm sure, will still get sick. You know, like not sick, hopefully, but like, you know what I mean. Like, in a perfect world, I would love if my kids never got a cold or something. Yeah. Cool.
That's not. That's drywall.
That's probably wood.
The ground.
Yeah.
Is not. That's okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh. Oh, I'm not good with materials, you know.
Or directions.
Don't even put that in the podcast. I'm gonna edit it out.
No.
Just joking. Yeah, I probably won't. I'm too lazy. Just joking. I'll probably leave that in too.
She's too lazy to edit it out.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh, and something that I wrote down too. I was like, that's funny that you brought up like you like changed too much, because I literally wrote down that I would have to switch up my routine a lot.
So much.
Yeah.
I swear.
For sure. But
it's okay though.
Yeah. I think that keeps it exactly. That's took the words right out of my mouth. Finish each other's sandwiches. Wow. You left me hanging. You never seen Tangled?
Yeah, I have.
Finish each other's sandwiches.
But he says sentences.
No.
Doesn't he?
No.
Oh.
They say sandwiches. That's why it's so funny.
Oh. That's funny.
You're too much for me. Okay. Getting near the end here. Like, to anybody that would like watch this or like listen to it, I guess. My bad. Or watch it.
We're gonna get you a YouTube channel set up too, by the way.
I know. I was like, I feel like that could be too much to start it all at once, but we'll see. Okay. I do want one. So. Okay. But yeah. Honestly, especially watching like Neza's video today, I was like, I could do this.
Yeah,
like just sit in front of the camera for
just like doing your routine and whatever, and just talking, just literally. It's fun.
But like she can do that now because she's gotten like that hype before. She used to do like real.
But you can do it too. I mean, like like I literally do that with that thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into it. I'm not scared that it will like fail. I just want to make sure that I'm giving the right amount of energy to everything else before I add another thing that I'm not as passionate about.
That's smart.
Because like I think it'll be cool to be on YouTube, but like making actual videos isn't to me as like impactful to me as like or like fun to me as like doing a podcast. Plus they can kind of come 2 and 2.
Exactly.
But I do want to do that. I didn't even ask it. What's like your best advice? Like what do you feel like is your best advice? Like if you were like talking to like Jaden or Kaden right now. Not specifically.
That's good. Even like G
you know
or something
what I mean.
like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like tell them exactly what I was gonna say. Do what the fuck you want to do. Literally, that's like I think the best advice. Like, just
within reason.
Yeah, do what the fuck you want to do. As in like take as many risks as you want, and like just do things, especially early on, and like you're whatever like you're interested in, just do it, and like have fun with it. Like, I think that's a good one. Like, don't ever lose that playfulness in life.
Sure. We're so big on that. Literally so big.
But yeah, like do whatever you want to do and like pursue it like with like full throttle and just like go at it. But like also don't forget to play. Like don't forget to like enjoy the journey. That's the one I'm like still learning and trying to
stay in the moment.
Yeah, trying to like enjoy each day, and like that's a big thing. Just like
for sure.
But yeah, those are my 2 or 3 or whatever.
That's good. Those are all fire. I think mine would be I didn't really think about this one, but I think my like best advice would be to not be afraid to fail, which kind of comes full circle because like that's kind of like what we're talking about. But like, yeah, I would say like a failure. I feel like we're taught that a failure is like so negative, but honestly, it's not.
First attempt in learning.
Yeah, first attempt in learning. Say less. Where did you hear that?
At boot camp.
Really?
Yeah, one of my RDCs. He was a douchebag,
but he taught something good.
He left something good in my mind.
Yeah, I think like don't look as. Oh my gosh, I don't think that a failure is necessarily bad. I think it means that you're gonna keep on trying.
Yeah.
Like don't ever give up. I guess it's like a big thing. Like. It's all of these sound so cliche, but it's literally just like if you really do apply those to every aspect of your life, like you literally will always succeed. It's the little special recipe. So it sounds basic, but I think that's why a lot of times we keep it out of our mind sometimes. Sometimes I feel like people like the little books where it's like a paragraph long, but literally all its meaning is like love yourself.
Literally,
like, oh my God.
That's another one. That's my advice. Don't read full books sometimes because like, you can just skim through shit and like take what you want. That's a good one. That's a lifesaver right there.
Oh my gosh. Don't waste time.
Yeah.
Time is so valuable. So I think like always respect your time.
Yes.
That's a really big one too. And respect people's time. I'm still working on that one. I know like if anybody back home is listening to this and they hear me say that, I know they're going to have some shit to say. But like don't waste your own time and don't waste other people's time. It's really important and it shows a lot of respect. Okay. Going into like the last question pretty much. Okay. What's one question that you wish I would have asked you? I want to ask this to like anybody that comes on the show.
I don't know. Let me think about it. We could have talked about like more like fears and like what scares you or how what's your passion? What makes you happy? What's something like guilty pleasure or something like that? Yeah. Stuff like that. That would be like cool. That would be fun to talk about.
All right, next episode. That's what I'll ask you about.
Okay.
Next episode with you. Sometimes the people will just want me. I'm just joking. Probably won't both of us.
But they're like, dang.
But no, that's good. I definitely think that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty pleasure, especially. I'm interested
That's
to hear
a
what
good
you
one.
would
Like,
say.
because like it could be like just like different things. Like,
yeah, mine's candy. Joking.
Like Lord.
That's a really basic. Keep that to yourself. That one's too much. The only other one that I was gonna have that like I just was gonna like, it's literally just like plug you, is like, where can people find you?
Oh, you don't have to plug me.
And what are you working on?
Plug me later. Actually, yeah, plug me later. This is yours for now. I'm taking over.
Plug you later. People are gonna ask, if somebody random on this podcast is like, who's this JJ?
I guess I'll talk about it. Right now I've been videotaping myself with the camcorder that we're using actually today, and been kind of just documenting our journey, and then like it's been like, first it started out as like my life, and it's still gonna be continuing, like just documenting my life and like the things I want to document that I'm experiencing. Not that like I'm like, oh, I'm special, yada yada yada, but I just like, I think it's cool to look back on. What are we on? We're like this is week 8, week 9 or something.
Well, if you're going based off of like the Sabio thing, we're on week 10.
Okay, so we're on week 10 of like just documenting like pretty consistently. But I started like a while back. But what I'm working on now, I'm working on a mixtape actually, and I'm gonna document that process too, of like me starting out making like a song and yada yada yada, and then I'm just gonna keep on going with it. Like, eventually gonna document like a music video and more modeling stuff and all that good stuff. But
you heard it here first, folks. But yeah, I'm excited to see everything, honestly.
Yeah. What are you working
on? Genuinely. What do you mean? I have a whole podcast to talk about me. But
you're right.
I'm in a podcast. I'm working on a podcast.
I'm working on a podcast.
Podcast, like, modeling.
And then also there's another thing we're working on is like clothes and stuff. So we're trying to do more pop-ups in LA, and we're gonna be at the Los Feliz flea market pretty soon, and we're gonna try to like do some other cool stuff. I was thinking too, by the way, like rebranding and like whether or not to or what.
We're rebranding.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of you always saying that you want to change it.
Okay.
You know, you just talked a lot about like how it's not really like your vision right now. And like, I think that like, if that's how you're feeling, then we should definitely do something to change it up. Because if you feel like you're putting it in a box, like, figure out if you feel like you're doing that in your own brain, or if you feel like it genuinely does that for itself. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I think I'm just doing it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. We'll talk more.
Offline.
Y'all don't need to hear all that. You can be surprised. Stay on the lookout if it's Jaded Romance or TBD.
TBD.
Yeah, like the movie Senior Year. No, wait, that was Work It. Their thing ended up, they never decided.
To be decided.
You know, I love Liza Koshy, but that movie, I had high hopes. And they were not met. Okay, my bad. I didn't say the name.
You can plug the movie.
Anyways, that's pretty much all I had for today. So, everybody do golf claps for JJ wherever you're at right now.
Golf claps.
For being, they're like the little small claps, because like maybe they need to be quiet wherever they're at listening to this. So everybody do golf claps for JJ right now.
I don't know if they heard you.
Everybody do golf claps for JJ right now. They're gonna be so mad. But for being on the show and putting up with me every single day, because he loves me so much.
So much. so much.
And thank you all for listening. And if you ever have ideas or things you feel like you want me to talk about, or questions that you want answered, opinions you want to hear, then send them my way. Instagram and Twitter at datsOURpodcast. So thanks everybody, and wherever you're at, I hope you have a great day. Deuces.